What is up, everyone? Today is going to be more about like reel maintenance, rod maintenance. So hopefully you can take something from this video. I'm going to be using my Lew's Mach 2 right here and my Lew's Mach Crush. I hope you really enjoy this video, and thank you so much. So in this video, basically what I wanted to go over was just how you want to maintain your reels. I wanted to do these Lew's Mach series, particularly the Lew's Mach 2 and the Lew's Mach Crush, is because these are the first two in my lineup that ever had these integrated wing grips on them. And I got the Crush when it came out because I was so impressed with the Mach 2. After so much use, so many fish catches, it does have a good bit of wear to it, and there's a lot of discoloration along the handles and on the grips. And you can actually see right here on these grips right here, it's right where my fingers go whenever I am gripping the reel, where that discoloration is coming in on the handles and the grips. I'm gonna go ahead and take these rod socks off, and I'm gonna go ahead and detach the reel from the rod here. I'm gonna set this to the side until I get back to ready to clean it. And the reason I'm taking the rod socks off is because once I get to the rods where I want to clean them, I'm actually going to come up here and clean all the eyelets and everything. I'll do this for any of the reels that I own, whether it be Lew's, Daiwa, Abu Garcia, Shimano, whichever one. They all basic same principle, and it's going to be very, very simple. I'm not going to get in depth. I'm not going to have to take apart this entire reel just to clean it the way I want to. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who want to take their whole reel apart, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just hoping to just get a better cleaner, oiled up reel. I'm just going to take apart just some of the main things on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just give me a good rag, just so anything that I do take apart, it won't get scratched up or anything. Just give me a good rag here, and the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to open up this side panel right here. Most all reels have some sort of function, maybe some sort of different way that you actually access the spool inside the reel, and on these Lew's Mach reels, it's going to be located right here on the back of the reel. You can see where it actually says lock, and you're just going to take that and push it down, and that's going to open up that side panel. You're just going to be able to take this right apart right here, and that's going to give you access to your spool. So I'm going to set this right here, make sure that I know where all my parts are. I'll take the spool out, and this has got basically just giving me access to all the parts that I want to clean and really want to focus on in cleaning this reel. And like I mentioned before, I'm not going to get too in depth into these rods and reels. I'm basically just giving the overview of what I would do to just kind of just spiff them up, clean them up, basic maintenance to them. And in order to do this, I'm going to use pretty much the most basic tools as I can. All I'm going to be using today is I've got some little rags here, tough rags that I'll be wiping and cleaning with. Just a bottle of water just to help me wipe and get all this grit and grime off these reels. I've got a little bit of rubbing alcohol, which I'll use not on the reels themselves but on the grips. I'll get to that later. And the last thing, after I actually clean the reel up and everything with the water, I'll wipe everything off, and then I will put some reel oil into the moving parts on my reels. And one more little tool that is useful if you're cleaning a reel is I found Q-tips work very well, maybe a toothpick, so you can kind of get into those tight areas. But for me and my purposes today, I'm probably using some little tweezers. What I'll do is I'll take these tweezers and I'll rip off a piece of that cloth or fabric or napkin, whatever you want to use to clean your reel. I'll take that little tweezers and wipe into those little tight little spaces inside the reel there. When you look at my reel here, it does not take long to find some grit and some grime on this thing. This thing has certainly got some wear on it. You can see all this dirt up in here, and if you actually look all them little pieces of dirt and dust that it's got up in there from water and the line just passing through those guides, and it has really just made it pretty dirty. So you can see this is what I'm wanting to get rid of. That's all right through there on the reel seat, all through there. Take my little piece of cloth here and put me just a little bit of water on here just to wet it, help clean, and then I will just get to cleaning, get all this dirt off my reel here. You can actually see right away, I'm not able to get in here with this cloth with my fingers, right over there in the reel seat of the reel, and even up on the other side up there here. So that's where these tweezers really come into play. I can take this, kind of wad it up right here. I'm able to come in here and just push that cloth right along, right where I want the reel to be cleaned at. And you can see, this is the kind of stuff that I don't want clogging up and being all over my my reel when I'm out there fishing. And one little pointer, so that you don't scratch your reel up if you're using these like metal tweezers like I am, instead of just taking the tweezers and gripping it like this, and then you're rubbing along there and you got this metal piece scratching your reel, what I like to do is once you wet your cloth here, take it and grip right here with the tweezers, and then just kind of cape the tweezers with the rag. That way there's no exposed metal scraping against your reel. And you can also do this, you don't have to have tweezers, you can use toothpick, Q-tip, anything like that you can use a small little instrument to get in there and get in those little tight spots in your reel. Alright, so in order to remove this handle right here, first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take my little Phillips head screwdriver, and every reel varies. This is just for the Mach 2, which I'm demonstrating here, and you'll just have to read your instructions or schematics for your individual reel. This is another reason why this rag really comes in handy. Definitely don't want to lose any of my parts here. Check out these pliers right here. These are made by Craftsman, and it's literally, it gives you all sorts of sizes. Everything from a 7mm all the way to a 14mm, just by gripping that. And that's really cool. So if I just take this, put it on here, able to loosen that. And here, out comes my handle. So now I'm just gonna unscrew this. And that's about as far as I want to take all this apart. Like I said, I'm not going to take the whole reel apart because I just don't want to have to deal with all those components inside the reel. I really just wanted to access this part and the other side right here. Apply that reel oil to all the main parts. I'm going to take some of my reel oil, and the first place I want to put it is right inside of there. That's where your spool actually goes up into the inside of your reel. So just put some of that reel oil in there. Anything that moves, really, I'll put a little bit of reel on there. And the next big spot is right here where I took that handle off. Definitely want to put it right there. Particularly you want that oil to get down into, as far down into the reel as you can. Like I said, I didn't want to take the whole reel apart, but I still want to try to get that oil down in there, and especially all of this around the handle. All of this right here around the handle right here. Attach this back on here. I always like to lay things on my rag right here in the order in which they were taken off. So I have my drag piece, I have that little ring right there, I have my actual handle, I have that little head, that little bolt right there, then I have this little key piece that goes on the outside, and then I have that little bitty screw. And now my handle's reattached to my reel itself. Before I move on here, I'm going to take and put a little bit of reel oil right here on the spool, right here on that bearing right there, on the other side. Apply some right here on this middle of the side plate where the spool attaches, and anywhere else you think there's stuff moving where you think it might need it, a little reel oil won't hurt anybody. A separate rag, I'm just going to wipe anything excess oil, any water that might still be on there from the cleaning, anything else, just going to wipe it all off. Make sure that it's all good, dry, nice and clean. Now hopefully we've done everything correctly and the reel should function just like it should. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to address the rod itself. This rod has definitely got some wear to it, and you can see it looked about like the reel did. It's got a bunch of dirt right there in the reel seat. No real big scientific method to it. All I'm going to do is just give me a little bit of cloth, a little bit of water, and just wipe it off, get all that dirt off of there. One good thing about the rod compared to the reel is I don't think I need any tweezers for the rod here. There's not really any real tight spaces that I can't reach with just my fingers and the cloth. Make sure that you take that wet little piece of cloth and just pinch it and go around. That way you're cleaning the inside of that eyelet and trying to get as much dirt out from around where your line is going to be passing as possible. That's basically most of what I'll do for my my setups. One of the things I wanted to address here was this discoloration here and what you might could do in trying to get rid of this discoloration, because you can see this perfectly matches up with the way I would grip the rod itself here, and you can see if I was to grip my combo, it's going to line up right where that discoloration is, because my hand's going to come in, my fingers are going to come right there, and that's right where all that wear and all that the darkness is coming from. One thing I want you need to do in order to clean up your handles here is get a little bit of just some regular rubbing alcohol. You have to be super careful. Don't put too much, and do not put any water or alcohol directly onto the grips themselves. I'll take a rag and put a little bit of alcohol on here, and very carefully I'm just going to take that alcohol and just lightly put it on here. Lightly rub across where that discoloration is, because if you try to scrub it, it'll actually take that outer layer, what you like of that wing grip, off of there. So you have to be very careful. So now I'm going to take another clean rag. I'll take fresh water. I want to get that water, and I'm going to go across there right where I put that alcohol, because I do not want that alcohol to stay on there. Don't want that to eat it up or tear up my my grips. And take the dry side of your rag, or just get another clean rag and just go across there and dry it up. Get all that water, any moisture off of there. So now you can see right there, but it did kind of get rid of the majority of that darkness that was on those grips. And I'm not going to go through the entire reel itself, because you can see I've got the butt of the rod here, I've got the whole grip here, and I've got both handles of what I could do that for. But that's just a basic principle of what you want to do in order to clean up your wing grips. So I really hope this will help you out and help you maintain your rods and reels. So yeah, that was basically all I wanted to talk to you guys about. Just really how you can, what you can do. Very basic with very minimal amounts of tools. And before I end this video, one thing I want to do is mention a company that I met at the Greensboro Coliseum at the Central North Carolina Boat and Fishing Expo. And this company, you can see my hat here, it is called Chosen Outdoors, with a Z in the word chosen. They brought me over to their booth and told me about their mission statement, about how everything is backed up with the ministry. You can see they give me a wristband, and it has a Bible verse on it. So I'm really glad I got to meet them guys, and I just wanted to say I think you should check them out. They're really awesome guys. They've been established since 2015. If we can work it out, maybe I can do some filming and fishing with them sometime. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really hope what all I've done to these rods and reels here will help you in your fishing and your rod and reel maintenance. And as always, make the best in life. Thank you so much.